Welcome, everyone. This is Glenda Dawson, and I have LD here, and you're watching Glenda's Dragons Den. We are being shown to you live on many different streaming platforms, but definitely on the Glenda's Magical Creations channel on the Conscious Awakening Network. And we are on Roku TV, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, YouTube and Facebook, and basically all over. So thank you for watching every week. Thank you.
I'm not cleaning that up.
Thank you for being here with us week after week, and thank you for the emails and the messages. So tonight we have a very special couple, and I'm just going to basically introduce them. They're very gentle, beautiful people. They have great souls, and they are always helping. And they have big events, so stay tuned. Don't miss a word here. So we have Deb and Arjay DeRousse. Welcome.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you for having us here in the Dragon's Den.
Yes,
Thank
we're
you
happy
for-
to be with the two of you tonight.
You know.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Anyway.
It's early yet.
He hasn't scared me yet.
Well, that's good. So, how are you guys doing today? And I'm sure the audience would love to hear more about you and how you got to where you are.
Rumor has it you got a busy weekend coming up.
We do. We have a very busy weekend. We're doing well, but it's a little frantic right now because we are a little more than a week away from the Michigan UFO Contact.
Mm-hmm.
And that is an event in Houghton Lake, Michigan, September 22nd, 23rd. Of course, our speakers come in a day early. So for us, it starts on the 21st. It's at the Lakeside Resort right on Houghton Lake. And Houghton Lake is the largest inland lake in Michigan. That is, of course, also surrounded by water. So we're very blessed to have that location. We have a great lineup this year, as we do every year, but the events themselves, everybody will be speaking. We'll be doing an experiencer panel where some of us get up and allow the audience to stand and tell their story. And some people, it's a beautiful happening because sometimes people come there that have never been able to speak about an experience with a UFO or an ET. And was it 2 years ago? I think 2 or 3 years ago, we actually had a gentleman who was in his 70s and had tears. We all had tears because he was never able to tell his story. Out of fear. He could never, he shared the experience with his brother, but they couldn't even talk about it. They were terrified. Nobody will believe us. People will think we're crazy, that type of thing. And so he was in his 70s able to speak about it for the very first time. So that's one of the happenings that we totally love.
Yeah, it's nice when you show up and everybody's like-minded, and you can tell right away that it's a place that you can share your stories, and we encourage it. And we even have maps on the wall where you can put down where your sighting is. And so, yeah, that was very touching. He was 70. I think he held that story for at least 50 some years, and never told anybody. But you hear some amazing stories. You really do. And I think now, since this disclosure is happening slowly, not fast paced enough for me, but I think that more people are. You can tell, you can feel in the community that more people are saying, "Oh yeah, the government's talking about UFOs. Maybe there's something there." So I'm really excited for this year. I think we sold, I think, more tickets than normal, have we?
So far, we
Yeah.
have broke all of our records.
Yeah. So I'm excited because there's going to be a lot of first timers there. I just got this feeling that it's going to be a really powerful message that comes out of it. So
Yes. And I'm excited that two of the first timers that are going to be there for the event are Glenda and Larry. We're so excited to have you guys there this year. And
Well,
we
first
will
time for the event,
finally-
but not first time for experiencing.
right. No, we've experienced together.
Yeah.
So that's going to be talked about in person
Oh, yeah.
too.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, even tonight, we were watching something in the sky moving west. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was a big giant V, not a solid, but just like a V that was orange and red. Looked like it might have been, on fire, whatever. We got a picture of it, but we weren't able to put it up. But they said that a big comet was going through, but that went through yesterday at 5 o'clock in the morning, so that wasn't it. And, so whatever it was definitely not an airplane.
No.
And it wasn't Superman. So
Oh, Chucks.
Unless it was a really, really, really large Superman.
Size matters.
yeah.
With that, yes.
So it was very interesting. I don't know what it was, but we've seen a few things around here. So
Yes.
So are you experiencing a shift in energy given the fact that there's been official disclosure acknowledged?
yeah, I am. I'm seeing it. I mean, on one side of it, the people, the government said we retrieved crashes. There was crashes. They're admitting that. They're admitting there's this, but nobody's really jumping up and down about it. And I'm trying to take this two ways. Either they don't care or they just know that this is, no big deal. We do this. Tell us something different.
Right.
So
Right.
I don't know. It's weird. I can't explain it, but I think there's been a big shift going on for a few years now. So where it's heading, hopefully in a good right direction, but we'll see. So
Yeah, I've been feeling a shift really honestly since 2016.
Yeah.
And it's been going a little more. As far as the government coming out, for me, it's not enough. You know what I mean? Other countries have admitted way before we did that, yes, there's life out there. I've been saying for a long time, we both have, that disclosure is really the experiencers. It's people telling their stories. The proof, there's a lot of proof out there. We really don't need the government to say, hey, that's real.
that's true. Yeah.
Although it does help, it does help, but we know.
Well, we know, but I'm thinking about the person who's on the cusp and trying to decide if they're actually going to go now that it's been officially acknowledged. What do you have for them? Is there an opportunity for them to be an experiencer?
That's a loaded question, Larry.
Well, definitely opportunities there, whether it's going to happen or not. I mean, we with their technology, sometimes we don't even know we're having an experience.
Right.
So maybe something will trigger in their mind. But I want to tell you a little story because I do play fantasy football, and I was watching NFL Network, and David Carr was on there talking about his father, who always in Houston always talked about seeing UFOs. They thought he was nuts. Well, they threw a party for him and his brother, with a big cake, and said they were sorry, because the government came out and said something.
Right.
So now they believe too. So they're no longer on the fence. So that's a story that I wanted to share because it was kind of cool. It was on national TV. So,
But rumor has it that you have an opportunity for a group of people to actually experience and see and be involved. Can you say a little something about that?
Yeah, well, we do CE5 work, and in all honesty, we tell people you can really go out about any time, day or night, open your mind, be loving, and you're going to see something. You know, the problem with humanity is, number one, people don't look up. People walk around looking at their phones. If you look at the sky, now, oftentimes people see things and go, oh, that was probably a plane, or that was probably a drone, or maybe that was an air balloon, or, you know, they can,
or Venus.
yeah. Well, and sometimes it is Venus, but you know what I mean. They can excuse it away.
Right.
And not even look twice. But if you go out and you're really looking, you're going to see something. When you put the collective consciousness together, as we do with the CE5 group, you're sending out a whole lot of love, a whole lot of energy saying, we're open to you. And will they come? Most of the time, yes.
Well, I'll give you an example. We work with a team out of Traverse City, Michigan called M.A.P.I.T, the Michigan Area Paranormal Investigative Team. And we were doing an investigation in a little town called Everett, Michigan, outside at night a couple of years back. And there were 10 of us there. And, of course, I'm always looking to the sky. It was a beautiful night. And we were down by the river. And I said, just show me a sign. I know you're there. Just show me a sign, please. You know, I was saying that in my mind. And all of a sudden, what looked like a star opened up big and bright, like a big spotlight, lit us all up. And all but 2 people saw it because 2 other people were over doing something, but they saw the light, you know, the ground light up. And then it went right back to nothing. And I'm just like, wow, thank you. You know, I asked for it and I got it. They're definitely listening. So,
yeah.
But is that built into the schedule? Are you going to have a group outside that's setting that intention and, you know, having a limited amount of light pollution and all of that?
Yeah. We have Andrea Parent, who is our ambassador to the Galactic family. So she every year she goes out and sings them in and helps people open up their minds, and people take some fascinating pictures all the time. So it's amazing. Yeah, that'll be going on for sure. Right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And, you know, the light pollution, it's a small town. There is some light.
Right.
But trust me, it does not stop people from seeing. There's still contact every single year. There's many reports of sightings, not only from the event, but from other locals that happen to see things in the sky because we're so open to it. When you get that many people, it's, you know, the same thing as doing the CE5, but done in a little bit different way.
Right.
You know, she doesn't do a circle and have people meditate and connect their consciousness and things like that, but it still works.
You were at the one in the UP that she did up in Sault Ste. Marie. I guess that night the police were upset because they were getting all kinds of calls, people calling in for UFO.
Oh, I feel so bad for that.
Yeah, UFO sightings. So,
it was actually in their local newspaper the next morning, and Johnny's office came into the event with the newspaper and plopped it down in front of Andrea, and he says, well, I hope you feel good, better, or something like that.
See what you did?
Yeah, this is all your fault. Yeah, because there were so many sightings and reports of UFOs in the sky that night. And that was the very first time, about 7 years ago. It was the very first time that Andrea had done that there. And people were blown away.
There were some amazing pictures taken too.
Yeah.
You went by the phone, you know, by people with their phones.
Yeah.
Right.
But we do it at the Michigan UFO Contact. It's done on Saturday night. oftentimes people go out also on Friday night
Mhm.
and do the same thing, but it's done on the, it's part of the schedule on Saturday.
Right.
So
Now, the hotel's located on the lake, so when you walk out back or front, I guess, whatever you call it, the lake's 7.5 miles long by 3.5 miles wide, and you guys will see this is beautiful. And so the sky's really open there, and so you can see a lot. It's nice.
Yeah.
So anyone that was undecided, this is your opportunity.
Mhm.
Make up your own minds. Don't take our word
Absolutely.
for it.
Yeah,
Come out
yeah.
and see for yourselves.
Absolutely.
Yep, well said. Come out and see it for yourself. And we all know those people that say that doesn't exist. You guys are crazy.
Well, they
until
can stay
they
home.
until they see something. But
They can come next year after they've seen it.
we're known as the weirdos of Houghton Lake. We have a metaphysical store,
Mhm.
and we get people all the time that come in to talk about different stories like this, or they come in for a different reason and say, well, I don't believe in those, but this one time
I got a picture.
At band camp?
yeah, one time at band camp. So even many people who say they don't believe
Right.
have seen something that they can't explain.
Mhm. And they're just afraid of what others are going to think about them.
Right.
They just
Right.
haven't met the right circle of people.
Well, as you well know, in the past, airplane pilots, if they reported it, they usually got fired.
Right.
And but now that's changed.
Yeah.
And they're coming out with some pretty incredible evidence from the airplane.
Well, and military. Yeah.
Mhm.
They weren't allowed to talk about it.
So,
But yeah, it's, the beautiful thing is all of this paranormal is really truly becoming the normal. And when Arjay talks about, the government saying, okay, we have ships that had crashed and this happened, and people are going, oh, okay. It's because, if you think about it, over the last 4 or 5 years, 6 years, it's been talked about quite a bit.
Right.
You can hardly turn on the news anymore or open a newspaper without seeing something about UFOs.
Well, when you have a former astronaut, I think he was a great ambassador because, that's an astronaut. When the astronaut starts talking about it,
Right.
Well, I'm thoroughly convinced the first people that went to the moon, those guys, they were being followed. They did see him up there. They were all around him. They were saying, "Get your rocks. You got to leave."
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of it was filmed in a studio. Of course, it was. It was filmed in a studio because they didn't want you to see what was going on up there.
Mm.
So that's where the disparity went. I mean, it was fake. They were in the studio. It both happened, in my opinion. That they had to do studio stuff because they did not want you to see what's up there.
Right.
And and when they got up there, I think we were told not to come back, but we're going to go back. Apparently, I mean, things have changed.
Yeah.
But and the last one that was there left and dropped a big heavy thing on the moon, and it vibrated for days,
Mm-hmm.
which means it's not that solid. Something's inside there, so it's just weird because it doesn't rotate. And there's ancient stories about how it wasn't there before, and it came into the Earth's atmosphere, and the way it's lined up with the Earth and the sun, and there's a whole thing you can read on about it. But it's just an odd piece of whatever it is in the sky. So,
Well, they got to hide somewhere, right?
yeah, that's true.
Keep an eye on us.
That's perfect. I mean, there's been a lot of people taking pictures of the moon through a telescope, and you can see the ships flying by, so whatever they are. So it's pretty cool.
They're definitely there.
Yeah.
Can we go through our lineup of speakers?
Yes,
Would that be?
please. Yes.
Do you want to do that?
Well, we mentioned Andrea Perrin. She was the oldest daughter in The Conjuring. But her passion, and when she was at the farmhouse when the conjuring was going on, all the paranormal stuff, she was having contact too. And her passion is
The galactic
family.
That's what she calls them.
And she takes some amazing pictures herself in her new book, A World to Behold, I think it was called.
Wonder to
Behold, yeah. Excuse me. And so anyway, she's like I said, she's our galactic ambassador, so she lets us know what's going on. And she'll be there, and she's always been there. So we're glad to have her back again. We got John Tenney. How do you explain John?
Have you guys ever heard John Tenney speak?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So we never ask him what are you going to speak about this year, because whenever he talks, everybody listens. So
He's amazing.
We never know what he's going to talk about. So.
He's one of the most intelligent people I've ever known.
I got to tell you a story. Our first one, we were up on stage at the beginning, and I was asking people how many people had encounters and how many people this and that. And I said, how many people from the CIA, FBI? And there was one person back in the doorway waving their hand. Who was it?
John Tenney.
John Tenney. Now, would it surprise you if he was? No, it wouldn't surprise me. So,
might be how he knows all this
and
stuff.
when
You
put on a UFO conference, the government's going to be there. They're going to check you out. So, and this year I'm going to welcome whoever they are there too, because and it just makes sense that they're for national security reasons. So, and we have Amber Rose Hammond,
who is a Michigan author. She writes books about mysterious Michigan. She's been a paranormal researcher and everything mystical and magical for many years. She's had experiences, so she's an experiencer herself, but she has also investigated many. And
she talks about the Michigan Triangle too.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. So she will be there, and we're excited. She's just a little ball of fire, and you guys are gonna love her.
Okay, we got Bill Konkolinski. He is the director of MUFON here. He's been the director for 19 years.
Regional director, correct?
Yeah, and he's an experiencer, and he actually Saturday mornings they have a MUFON meeting, and people can learn about MUFON, as well as he's on the panel, and he's going to give his speech too. He's an author and really cool guy. So
and an experiencer, lifelong experiencer, and he's so knowledgeable. Yeah, so helpful for anybody that wants to talk to him. Yeah, and
he explains how you go about reporting a sighting too. That's pretty cool because people don't know what to do. Right. So we have we have Tim Ellis and Brad Blair, who put on the Michigan Paracon. They belong to a team called
UPPRS, Upper Peninsula Paranormal Research Society.
Yeah, and what I like about the group, like our group too, M.A.P.I.T, is that they investigate everything. The ghost, the cryptid, and the UFOs. So, and they're always fun to have down from the 51st state up there. So, like they call it. So they want to become their own state up there. And it's always nice when they visit us trolls below the bridge. So it's cool.
And they have a ton of sightings. I mean, Michigan is high in sightings anyways, but the Upper Peninsula really has just so many sightings.
A lot going on, so Tim Ellis is going to be our MC again this year. He owns his own radio station, and he has a wonderful voice, $1 million voice, and they're just beautiful people. We love them, and I'm glad that they're here. So we have Mary Bassett.
Mary is also our co-host on and the regressionist on the Voices of Contact. That's on every Friday night at 8 p.m. Yep. She is amazing. So she will be speaking. She will also be on the panel. That's one of the extras that we do, is a panel of the Voices of Contact crew.
Right.
So she'll be on that as well. But she will also be doing a live regression
Ooh,
with an
Yeah.
experiencer.
that's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yes.
So yeah, she was the founder of the Voices of Contact and contacted us to be on it. We're thankful that she did.
Hmm.
So and then we have Deb Cobble. Deb Cobble was the character in the book Intruders. Of course, they used a different name for her in the book, and they also made a series and a movie out of it.
Written
too.
by Bud Hopkins.
Bud Hopkins, yeah.
Right.
And she's a lifetime experiencer. She's on the Voices of Contact with us. We're so
Mhm.
happy to be able to meet her because we haven't not met her in person yet.
Right.
But she's also written a couple books herself. Intruders, The Incredible Visitations at Copley Woods. And
that one was Bud's.
yeah, that was Bud's. But oh yeah, she was the main character in that one.
Yeah.
And then excuse me, I got it written down here. Abducted, the story of the intruders continues, and extraordinary contact, life beyond intruders. So looking really forward to seeing her and
Very
talk.
good books.
Yep.
Nice.
And a very knowledgeable woman.
Yeah, she's
And on top of being an experiencer and a part of Mensa and all of that,
Mhm.
she was also a field investigator for MUFON for many years.
Ooh.
So she knows her stuff.
And last but not least, we have the wonderful Reverend Michael Carter. You know Michael, right?
Yes.
A regular on Ancient Aliens.
Yep. And I just got off the phone a little while ago, and he's been working hard on his presentation. He can't wait to be here. It's going to be Disclosure, the Bible, and Transformation.
Ooh.
So,
Nice.
yeah, it's going to be really cool. And so everybody loved him last year, so he's probably going to be a regular here too. We can't not welcome him back every
Right.
year if he can do it.
Yeah, he's a wonderful, wonderful human being. And, one thing I can say is that every speaker that we have had, we've been so blessed because they are very humble and intelligent and down to earth and, all about sharing their knowledge. And that's what this is all about. When we first began this, it wasn't, we don't do it to make money. We don't make money on it. It's not an ego thing. It's literally, it was actually a download for me, but it's to awaken people and to help people to understand what's going on and to open up.
Yeah, because soon our lives are going to change. I mean, I might not be around for the big change, but in the area of medical, energy, our sciences, how we look at the universe, our religions, definitely are going to be different. And I don't mean different in a bad way, but they're going to be expanded. And,
it's all a part of the evolution that is literally happening right before our eyes.
Yeah. Right.
It is happening.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to happen. It's just part of the evolution. It's part of what we do. So, and it's happened before. Of course, there was maybe not as good results that happened before in the past, but I think this time it's a little bit different. I think we're going to pull this one off, and it's going to be good for everybody.
I believe so. That all that's going to happen is that people are going to find that they're not so different from each other.
Right.
And no matter what belief you have, it's all going to come to one place in exactly the same place. Love, universal love, unity, but
getting your head out of the minutia and into the big picture.
Yeah, a lot of walls are going to come down for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's happening. It really is. Sometimes when things are crazy, if you think about what's going on around the world, but if you open your eyes, you can also see the beauty that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it truly is. Even with, all of the paranormal that is seen
Mhm.
and felt and heard now that maybe wasn't 30, 40, 50 years ago. It's because our vibrations are getting up there and we're able to see more and feel more and hear more. And it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, we're becoming more aware. We're becoming more
Awaken?
awakened. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. And as we awaken, we're awakened to a lot of new things, and the possibilities are endless. So it's just we have to not only believe in it, but we have to manifest it. So
Yeah. And it's, it's great because I hear you guys talking about the same things. When I listen to your shows, you're right there. You're saying the same things that we say. So it's universally,
Right.
people are getting it.
Mhm.
And there are more voices like the two of you and the two of us and many others who are willing to put themselves out there now.
Mhm.
So, those who weren't quite ready or still, however Larry put that, on the fence or something, they
On the
have,
cusp.
they,
on the cusp.
yeah, on the cusp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't like 15 years ago. If you took a survey about how many people believed in UFOs and life and elsewhere, it was still in the negative. And now it's on the other side. More people believe than not. So
Right.
that's a good sign that people are
Well,
waking up.
it's kind of hard to just be so close-minded to think that we are the only existing beings alive in this huge place that we live in. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
it
Imagine the arrogance.
yeah, it's like
Right. Yeah.
Thinking you're
it.
the top of the food chain in intellect.
Yeah, and it's sad that you think about it, that if somebody really thought that we are the only
Right.
people like us, or my thing is this, as far as we know, the universe is 15 billion years old. Our solar system was about 4.5.
Right.
Now, just imagine a society that's a billion years more advanced than we are.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the possibilities are endless. Whatever you can think about has probably happened already. So, this is just we're just part of evolution.
Mm-hmm.
And this is part of the evolution, and we're going to be traveling in space ourselves. That's what happens.
And you were talking about, healing energy. Glenda, you're a 25th level in a SUI now certification. And
Mm-hmm.
how many other modalities do you practice in? And it's at least 12, right?
It was more like 70, honey.
Yeah. Well, it's at least 12. But, that's becoming extremely advanced as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I believe
I believe
there's probably technology out there that reverse aging,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of it has
that.
to do with light, it has electricity, and we're going to see the whole medical thing change because it's always just not working.
Right.
So there's free energy machines out there too. So it'll we won't have to work for money anymore because we won't, it'll be different. We'll be able to do we'll sign up for something that we like to do, and that makes people happy. They want to go to work, whatever it's not really work. So yeah, it's going to change big time. And, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be around when all that happens, but I can see it
in
happening.
one form or another.
Yeah.
Well, set the intention.
Yeah, I can see that happening, and really, I think they're preparing us for that.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I do want to say that I've had people contacting me lately for VIP tickets.
Right.
And in all honesty, they sold out many months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I put tickets up for sale, I think, in February, And within about 3 weeks, the VIP tickets were gone.
Right.
So I'm very sorry about that. But general tickets, the weekend tickets are still available.
Mhm.
And they can be found on either Ticket Leap, any of the Facebook pages. But the main place is the website, the MIUFO Con.com, right
Mhm.
there. Yeah, so it's very simple.
The
All of
most
the
amazing thing
information.
that happens.
Yeah, for sure.
So you guys are coming in on Friday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Thursday. Nice.
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
It's a
Yeah,
secret.
we don't have to tell everything.
Well, that's true.
Right.
Well, I just wanted to make sure what time I had to have the spaceship there to pick you up. That's all.
Oh, you know, we're driving ourselves. We're driving. We're driving our own spaceship.
Nice. Nice. Well, good. You can see the sights.
Right?
It's again, I'm so excited that you guys are coming.
We are
We're looking forward to it.
definitely looking forward to it.
How? And I think I've asked you this before, but how far away are you from Indiana, Pennsylvania,
I didn't know there
Indiana,
was one.
Pennsylvania.
where Jimmy Stewart College is?
I don't know.
It's more east.
We're
east.
central east.
Central East. Okay, so
Yeah,
you're not too.
we're technically
We're the eastern end of Route 80.
right.
Because
Right.
I have relatives there. You know.
Oh.
Yeah.
You need a ride?
In Pennsylvania, a lot of my relatives came from Pennsylvania.
Oh,
They need it, right?
Oh, they need a ride? No, I haven't talked to them in quite a while, so but I know I have some blood relatives.
They sound like my relative.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I flew there as a kid. My great grandparents lived there, and great parents lived there. So I had a chance to meet them, and they were near their end. But when we flew there on a 4-propeller plane, of course, it was back in the '60s, and I was a very wee lad. And we got on this bus, and this bus backed up for a quarter mile backwards. I swear, and I looked at my mother. I said, "Do the buses in Pennsylvania go backwards?" So they no. And then we went through this big mountain. I remember that, and it was pretty cool. They had a tunnel there, and but that was my. And we saw a lot of graveyards there too. We were there, so. But that's the last time we went to Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Some places, not much to see, but.
Well, you guys had a famous sighting there, or crash there, in the '60s. You remember that one?
In the '60s.
Well, I'll tell you another story. I was a kid. We were driving home on the expressway to go back to our house in '66, I believe, and I heard I was asleep. My mother said, "Oh, Larry, what was that?" And he goes, "I don't know." And a big flash went across the sky. Now, thousands of people saw it in Michigan. It crashed in Pennsylvania. Kettenburg. I can't think of the name of the town. Anyway, it crashed there, and there was eyewitness. That came out later that said the military was in there. They retrieved it. They said they saw extraterrestrials there and everything. So if you get a chance to check that out, it's pretty cool. It's a famous sighting, a famous crash, as I say.
I will. See,
Yep.
I didn't learn something new.
Yep.
I grew up in New Jersey, so.
And where?
In New Jersey.
Oh, so.
Yeah, you still have a bit of that accent.
Yes. Especially when I'm tired, you're going to hear it a lot more.
Well, you can meet our friends, the Michaels and John and Val. They're John's from New Jersey, so you can't miss him. He's about 6'5", so.
You can't miss me. Oh, yes,
I still haven't grown up.
I'm under 5 feet tall, so you'll be looking like, where is she?
I'll find you.
They'll find you.
I have no worries.
You know where I'm going to be.
That's right. I'll assign you where,
Yeah,
where I can easily find you. Well, and one of the beauties of having the event where we have it is it's not huge.
Right.
We keep it smaller on purpose because we want people to be able to interact and be more like a family setting. You know what I mean? So
There's still about 400 people there, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you won't be so far away or lost in too big of a crowd that I
Right.
can't find you.
Right.
There's no escaping me.
Oh, Chuck.
Yeah, I mean, the conference room will be full, and the other room upstairs will be full, and it'll be nice.
Oh, okay. It's Julie just put it up. Julie put up that it was Kecksburg UFO
Kecksburg, yes.
crash.
Thank you. Thank you,
And
Julie.
Thank you.
I am about 4 hours away from there.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yeah, well,
Julie.
my parents were witnesses of that crash. They saw it go through the sky, and I didn't see it because I fell asleep as a kid. So, but I heard my mom woke me up saying that. What is that? She was kind of screaming it. But, so.
Well, you might have witnessed it and just.
Well, they had a lot of specials on TV, so I got to see that. That's pretty cool.
There you go.
Well, yeah, and if you think about all of the incidents that happened that were not real publicized,
Right.
there's been tons and tons and tons of them.
Mm-hmm.
For at least since the 30s, 40s that we know of. Probably many, many more before that weren't even talked about.
Right.
So I'm sure almost every place on this planet has had something happen. And sorry about that. I dropped something.
She had a rock in her hand.
I keep a hematite that I play with when I do shows.
This is what I play with. That's why you see my hands down every so often. I was just like,
Yeah, and then my smile, she put the rock down.
oh Lord.
My second one is a Merkaba, a little amethyst Merkaba.
Nice.
Yeah. So now I'll play with that and try not to drop it.
So if you hear this banging and clanging going on, that's what's going on.
I understand completely. It's sometimes I have to, after the show, I have to go under the table and pick up all this stuff.
Right. And don't you find
one too many twists?
Yep. With what we do and having trouble staying grounded,
right?
We have to do things like that.
Yeah.
For one thing, the mind is always everywhere except in the body,
right?
and you have to be fidgeting or doing something.
Correct.
Yeah, I can't sit down for a long time without you'll see me doing this or this or this.
All of our shows.
I got in trouble in school because I did that a lot. So.
And see, Larry sits there so calmly.
Yep.
I know.
Well, I grew up doing this, so this is in my blood. I was on media when I was a child, and I just kind of this is Glenda's Dragon's Den. I only get pulled in when there's a pacing thing or people are out in the weeds and I got to pull them back. But, you guys do a show. It's nice to have people that do shows because the shows do themselves.
Yeah.
True.
So tell us a little more so the audience can learn more about the event and you guys. Like, what made you do this?
Okay. I think you have heard the story, but probably many of your listeners have not.
Right.
I actually had a big experience in 2016, October 1st. I was setting up for world's largest ghost hunt at a venue. And as one of the mediums on the team, I was asked by Brian Cano, he asked all of us, be very open, spend like the whole week being open, put out there that you're ready and willing to communicate with whatever is out there. So I was setting up for this event and I was driving home and it was late. It was after 1 a.m. and I was a few miles, about 2 to 3 miles from my house. And all of a sudden I didn't feel right. I could feel my skin was tingly and my stomach felt weird. And I thought, oh my gosh. Well, I knew my sister lived right around the corner. So I thought, maybe I better go right to her house instead of going home. Something's wrong. So I looked down at the clock to see what time it was. And it was 1:11 in the morning. And as I looked up, I saw the largest craft I'll probably ever see. And make a long story short, my car bogged way down. My interior lights came on. All of my hair was standing up. I mean, I could even feel the hair on my legs. It was the weirdest thing.
It was a giant pyramid, what she was looking at.
Yeah. With bright golden light. And I could see the bottom of it was black. Mm-hmm. And I could see, I don't know, I want to say geometrical shapes, but I don't know if it was maybe their type of letters. Anyways.
Right.
So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking I need to turn my lights off. I can't move my hands. I am totally frozen. My car had bogged down. Next thing I knew, I was in my driveway and ran into the house to send a message to someone on the team. 2 days later, found out that I had 1 hour and 9 minutes of missing time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So the ship you met Glenda on, right?
I think I met Glenda before that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We were on a ship together probably 5 or 6 years before that. Mm-hmm. But this one was the one that made me go, okay, I can't ignore this anymore. Right. It's been going on. I need to face it. But anyways, so I find out 2 days later by going back to the message that I had all this missing time. Ended up contacting MUFON. They tested my car a few months later. The radiation was still high on it. Wow. Just all kinds of things. Well, I knew I was downloaded with some information. I didn't know what. And that's how it goes, right? You don't know what you're getting until it comes out your mouth. So come December, the end of December, we're sitting at the table and Arjay said, boy, I'm kind of glad our season is over. No speaking, no events, nothing for a while. We get a break. And I turned and looked at him and said, but we're putting on a UFO con. And we were both totally shocked. There was no thought, none whatsoever about doing that.
Right.
And
so I started taking notes. Okay, we got to find a venue place. We got to who we're going to call. The first person we called was Nick Bedford. And he said yes. So it was on.
Yeah, that was the cool thing because we knew immediately who to contact, where it was going to be, all of it. It was like it was pre-planned. We just had to do the legwork.
Well,
so
there's the download.
Yeah, that's the download. We did not, we can't take full credit for doing this event because honestly, it's what they wanted. They wanted this information out there. Now,
but if they had someone else to do it, they'd have gotten someone else to do it. So without you, the event wouldn't be there.
Right. Yeah.
So take some credit.
I take some credit. I work really hard at it. I can say that. It's a lot of work. It's a huge labor of love. It really is.
It's an all-year event. That really, all the stuff we have to put into it, finding the speakers and the dates, and coming up with the new shirts, the new everything. And Mike Smith, he's our partner. He helps us with all that. So
Mike Smith, 734 Designs. He is incredible, and definitely the right hand to this. He does all those things that I don't like doing, so that helps. But it's an event that was meant to be, supposed to be, and every year, it's like we know who to contact, who the speakers are going to be. If they're supposed to be there, they're there.
Mhm.
And it's that part of it is pretty simple because it's pre-planned.
Right.
Yeah. You know, had I come up with it, it probably wouldn't run so smoothly. I'm very OCD, ADHD, you know, I'm a medium, so my brain is everywhere. So an organization is not my strong suit.
And she wasn't really all happy about being taken at first, but I was so glad she was, because now we can talk about it. Because I have had experiences all my life, and that was the one that put her, you know, into
Your orbit.
yeah. And
Yeah. Well, I, you know, I became totally 1000% obsessed and completely, I couldn't sleep.
right.
It was like forcing myself to eat. I just wanted to get a grip on this.
Right.
And, you know, I still have times that I struggle with it.
Mhm.
And it's not, you know, I know the experience was most likely beautiful.
Mhm.
I know they gave me information. I know some of the things that they did to me. But what the hardest part for me, and I'm going to be real honest here,
Mhm.
is I felt like
Violated
I was violated.
because
Mhm.
she was taken without permission.
Yeah.
Oh.
And for a woman, and you know, when in my
Yeah.
youth I had been raped,
Right.
that was huge. And that was something that, and is something that is a trigger for me.
Mhm.
So, you know, the whole, and I tell them all the time, if you want to visit or if you want to take me, please let me know.
Well, you
Right.
tell them that now.
Now, yeah.
Because if they had asked you before, you would have said, well, no, you're not going to do that.
I probably would have said no. But, you know, after that experience, then I realized it's really been happening all my life,
Mhm.
but something that I had no control over.
Right. Right. And that's the difference. Right.
It is, yeah.
Oh,
I'm curious, as a woman, Glenda, have you had those same feelings with that?
the very first time, but after that, I basically get. We're going to stop in on Tuesday night around this time. Are you available? Because I went berserk.
Yeah.
I called in everybody, my full team, and I'm like, "Get me out of here."
Wow.
Uh, I
Okay.
well, I've known my spiritual team since about the age of 2 or before 2, but I remember age of 2.
Yeah.
And ever since then, basically, they know I talk back. I ask why. I say "f you," no, and you know they eventually I kind of do it, but it's the argument part that keeps the relationship fresh. Uh, but when I call and I said I need help, they know that you know to
Yeah.
come in quickly because
Right.
I'm not really a person to ask for help.
Yeah. I get that.
And then they started um, taking me for healing, whether it be for me or for others.
Yeah.
They realized that the human body and the mind and the the heart, the emotional side, and all that can't really just go click click. You have to have some comfort and some
Mm-hmm.
knowledge and some love attached to whatever you guys are doing, which at some point we must have agreed to letting you do.
Right.
Um, but let's do this a little kinder, a little less, you know.
Yeah.
Again,
Evasive.
we incarnate with free will.
Right.
Yeah.
And so to a certain level, that needs to be respected.
Mm-hmm.
So
And everything works better when it's mutually agreed upon.
Yeah.
And we're within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The show has flown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, is there
Yeah.
anything that you want to wrap with that we haven't touched on yet?
Oh boy. Well, we are home base is Houghton Lake, Michigan. We have Mystical Awakenings. We do have tickets available to Michigan UFO Contact here as well. So if any local people are listening, again, we can be found on miufocon.com. Our books are on Amazon. Just type in Deb and Arjay DeRousse, and you can find all kinds of stuff on the web about us and our books and our events. Nothing. We have no private life. It's all out there.
Yeah, and the hotel rooms are filling up fast in the area. There's a couple just within a couple minutes of the event. So
Right.
The hotel where it is at booked solid about a month ago.
Right.
So everything is sold out. Some of the hotels around us are filling up quickly.
like I said, they're literally like 3 minutes away. You get in the car, you're there. So
yeah.
Right. Oh, that's good.
And people can feel free to contact us about, questions about experiences.
I'll
Anything.
put your Facebook up, so if they're on Facebook, they could contact you right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
Lingua 5.
Yep. And then I'll put this one. So,
Places of contact can be found every Friday night at 8 o'clock on YouTube. Mystical Awakenings Vodcast with a V on Facebook.
check it out. It's a pretty cool show. I don't think anybody's doing something like that. So we're really excited about
this
it.
one.
And Mystical Awakenings Radio. All the shows can be seen there as well on Facebook.
And we got KGRA.
We are on Mystical Awakenings is on KGRA Digital Broadcasting every Thursday night at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Great network. We totally love it. I'm very happy there. So.
They'll be able to find you almost everywhere.
We don't hide.
Well, you can tune in tomorrow. Listen to Deb Caldwell.
What's it out there? You can't.
Yeah. Tomorrow night on Mystical Awakenings, our guest is Deb Caldwell. So if you want to know more of her story, tune in.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. And they could find that on Facebook
and Mystical Awakenings Podcast, Mystical Awakenings Radio, right there that you have on Facebook. Yes. Okay. And KGRA.
Okay. That's wonderful.
And anyone out there who's had an experience, no experience is too small.
Right.
No.
And it's a family thing. It's not any longer by yourself.
Right.
There's many people out there that have experience and know that you should feel safe.
Right.
In things like this. So.
3 very important words are: we believe you.
Exactly. Very, very good words there.
Yes.
So,
All right, honey.
well, yes.
Take it out.
Thank you, Deb.
Thank you.
And we'll see you soon.
Can't wait.
Thank you to the audience and everyone that listened now or going to be listening later, because as you well know, you could find us still on YouTube, on Roku, etc., etc., etc. So we love you as always.
And please stick around after we've said goodnight.
And we're sending a kiss